Good morning. Sorry it's taken me so long to put up a video. After the last video I shot, I got sick, real sick, and I was down for a couple of weeks, so I just didn't have it in me to put up a video. But I've been giving a lot of thought to things. I mean, my brain never stops. It's just the way my brain works. It just doesn't quit. And there's always things that are going through my mind, and especially the closer to God I get, the more I think about. And the more I think about you, the more I think about everyone who might watch this video. I'll start by telling you that I shot a video last night when I got home, and when I was done, I asked my wife to listen to it, and she listened to it. When it was done, I asked her what she thought, and the look on her face was just, it was a big grin. So I knew she liked it, probably just because she loves me, but the reality was the look said it was way too long. The video was 32 minutes. So I suppose it was kind of a long video. So I decided this morning I'd reshoot another one and just kind of compact a little bit of what I was saying. This weekend I made it back to church service for the first time in 2 weeks. It was amazing. My pastor, Adam Harold, at the Refuge Church is just such a humble, honest to God, down to earth man. And it's a privilege for me to be able to listen to this man. You know, he's a wise guy, not like the New Yorkers or the Italians. He's just a very wise man, and I love the guy. He's awesome. And this weekend he was talking about how everybody has a story and everybody has a situation that they're dealing with, and you know, some people believe that they have just done too much, that they've sinned too much to come back into the arms of God, and that's just not true. It just isn't. God sent His only Son to die on a cross to atone for your sins. And we all have the ability to take advantage of that if we actually do. So at the end of every church service, Adam gives people the opportunity to commit their lives to God, and I think it's amazing. I love it. I just wish sometimes that prior to committing your life to God, that you actually grow to know who God is and what He expects of us. Instead of committing your life blindly to Jesus Christ and to God without knowing exactly what His commandments are. Know His commandments. Because the thing is, you can give your life to God on Sunday, and then on Monday, go commit a sin, and on Tuesday, commit another one, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, same thing over and over again. And if you don't ask for forgiveness, you're drifting away from God. And if you don't understand who God is, then you don't even know how to ask for forgiveness. So I think it's important that we understand who God is. Let me just quickly elaborate. God is the most powerful being in the entire universe. When you think of the strongest, biggest, baddest person you could ever think of, God is that person times a million. Okay, He's the strongest God ever. So in Isaiah, an example I'll give you is in Isaiah. Isaiah had the opportunity to meet God, which was amazing. Back in the Old Testament, prophets were men who would speak on behalf of God. And it was very important for prophets to speak correctly. Because back in the Old Testament, if you claimed to be a prophet and your prophecies were inaccurate, they'd kill you. So it was pretty important to be in tune with God, to be able to give appropriate prophecies. Well, Isaiah was a prophet of God, and Isaiah, after one of the kings died, had the opportunity to see the Lord. And he says that when he saw the Lord sitting upon the throne, there were two angels that flew above God. And these angels had 6 wings. These angels covered their faces with 2 of their wings. They covered their feet with the other 2 wings, and they flew with the other 2. Now you ask yourself, you have to ask, why did these angels cover themselves? The angels covered themselves because they didn't feel that they were worthy to be looked upon by the Lord. That's amazing. Because when you think of angels, you think of as close to perfection as you can get, and especially in comparison to human nature. And these angels were covering themselves because they just didn't feel worthy to be seen by God. And so these are angels that are looking at the most powerful being in the world, and they're yelling back and forth between each other, holy, holy, holy is the Lord. And their voices are so loud that they're shaking the temples, and they're shaking the pilings. I mean, it was amazing. And this is what Isaiah saw. And when Isaiah saw the Lord, he looked at the Lord and he said, oh no, I'm in trouble. You're going to kill me because I am such a sinner. And I've done so many things wrong that I'm going to die. Well, long story short, in this aspect, and I would suggest that you check it out, look into Isaiah 6 and read a little bit about it. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. But the angels flew down with a coal from the altar and laid it upon his lips and said, "See, the coal will not burn you because you have been saved by God's Son." But here's Isaiah, a prophet of the Lord, someone who told everyone about God, who was afraid of God because of his sinful nature. And then we as humans right now, which are far more sinful than he was, I'm sure, we think of God and we think of some little man who sits up on a chair and he's got a sheep in his lap and he's petting his head. We think of this humble God that just forgives us every time we make a mistake. No, the reality is every time you sin, you will pay for it. In one way, shape, or form. Even if you ask for forgiveness, it's important to ask for forgiveness because that's what keeps you humble. So when you go to God, when you commit your life to God, understand who he is, because if you don't, then you're making a mistake. And I would strongly advise that you look into, just read into the Bible a bit. If you don't know what to read, Google search certain situations in your life. Google search, what does the Bible say about this or that? And then just read the verses. Because eventually you're going to get pulled into it and you're going to start to understand it better to a point where you're going to start to understand God better. One of the most important things that I think that you can understand about God is the fact that he asks you to tithe. Now, God's not asking you for a tithing because he needs your money. He's asking you for a tithing because he needs your faith. And faith in financials is one of the biggest leaps that you will ever take as a Christian. And I've struggled with this myself to the point where, Saturday evening, I'm looking at my bank account and I'm looking and I'm thinking, Lord, have mercy. I don't know that I got enough in there to give 10%, it's there. But I'm telling myself that I got bills that I'm not going to be able to pay if I give this 10%. And the reality is, it's not my money anyway. So I give it. And God gives back every single time. I have seen miracles work in my life. It's impressive. In Proverbs 11:24, it says, "One who gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give, and only suffers want." I don't want to suffer want. I have. I've withheld what I should give. And I will tell you that I've struggled more in the times where I've withheld what I thought that I couldn't afford to give than the times that I actually gave. And God says in the Bible many times, "Do not test me, for I am God." But he also says that there's one test that you can test him on, and that is the test of tithing. God says, "Give me 10% and I will return tenfold," and I guarantee you he will. You think you don't have any money? You think you're struggling? You think you're suffering? Give 10% and do it wholeheartedly. Don't give 10% reluctantly. Don't think to yourself, "Oh man, I got to give this. All right, here we go." And don't show up to church on Sunday morning and when the basket comes around, reach in your pocket and pull out $5, $10, $20 and throw it in the basket like you're doing something. Don't consider that your tithe. Consider a donation if you want, but that ain't tithing. That's not following the commandments. So understand who God is and follow his commandments. Now look, don't get me wrong. If you didn't work that week and all you made was $200, fine, give 20. If you made $50 that week, fine, give 5. But if you made $500 and give less than 50, then you are not tithing, you're donating. And donations help. I mean, every church can use a donation. Everyone, charities, they can all use donations. But don't consider that you're following God's commandments. Don't call yourself a Christian and then go to church on Sunday morning and give 2.5%. God don't need your money. He needs your faith. And with faith comes love. And with love comes joy. And with joy comes extreme happiness that you can go through life with 110%. There's a lot of things that I really want to elaborate on, but the truth is, this is the biggest one. Know God before you commit to him. Try to understand him. I mean, because we all have these moments where we'll say, yes, I want you in my life, but then turn around and forget who he is the next week. My advice here is know God before you commit to Him and follow His commandments. That being said, I'm running out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this.